I wanted to start by turning back to Leviticus chapter 24, if you want to head back there. Leviticus chapter 24. Leviticus is a really interesting book, I think. There are a few chapters in there that we turn to fairly often, like Leviticus 23 and the holy days. We go there every year. But otherwise, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to find sections in Leviticus that we can take out and apply into our lives right away. There's a lot about offerings, about various regulations, priestly duties, and so on and so forth. All of those topics that may be interesting, but again, might be a little bit difficult to apply directly into your life. Just a few chapters earlier than where we're going, in my Bible, it has a whole bunch of headers, and it says regulations for the conduct of priests. And then the next one, it says acceptable offerings, and then not acceptable offerings. And it just kind of keeps going down the list. And it's a little bit like, what do we do with this? How do we apply this? In chapter 24 in Leviticus, where we're going to start today, it feels like one of those chapters. It's talking about things within the tabernacle. Let's pick it up in Leviticus chapter 24, starting in verse 1. It says, "Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they may bring to you pure oil of pressed olives, for the light, to make the lamps burn continually. Outside the veil of testimony and the tabernacle of meeting, Aaron shall be in charge of it from evening till morning before the Lord continually. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations. And he shall be in charge of the lamps on the pure gold lampstand before the Lord continually. And you shall take fine flour and bake 12 cakes with it. 2/10 of an ephod shall be in each cake." Verse 6. "And you shall set them in 2 rows, 6 in a row, on the pure gold table before the Lord. And you shall put pure frankincense on each row, that it may be on the bread of the memorial, an offering made by fire to the Lord." All right, so this is the case if, like me, you've never actually been in this tabernacle. They have a room that's set up there, and they have this lamp of gold. It's made from solid gold. It's heavy. It's like 75 pounds, give or take. And it's facing this bread that's on an opposite table. So we have the lamp on the south side, and it's hammered in a position where the light then shines down on the bread that's on the north side. And we understand that the light shining from the lamp represents God's divine light, his presence. And the bread represents the 12 tribes of Israel, or by extension, you could say God's called out people. Okay, that's great. Now what? What do we do with this? What does this have to do with our lives right now? It definitely feels like maybe it could be interesting, but again, it can be difficult to connect this with our day in and day out lives. Well, let's go to Numbers chapter 6 next. This is often called the priestly blessing. You probably heard of this before. There's a variation of it in Fiddler on the Roof. That's what I'm most familiar with. But there is an example, many examples just like this, where we can see an application of the symbolism that we just read about in Leviticus, and where that symbolism then comes to life in a new application. Numbers chapter 6, we'll start in verse 23 now. Numbers chapter 6, verse 23. Says, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying this, This is the way you shall bless the children of Israel. Say to them this. Verse 24. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. So they shall put my name on the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Well, now we have an application of the symbolism from Leviticus. May the Lord make his face shine upon you. So generally speaking, we have these two contrasts that are in play here. We have God facing someone, shining upon them, and that's contrasted with God turning away from someone. So on one side, we have God remembering or calling to mind his covenant or his way of life. And on the other hand, we have God forgetting. Not as in like, I forgot where I parked my car sort of thing, but as in like he's removing his presence. On one hand, we have salvation, restoration, guidance, blessings. On the other hand, we have distress, punishment, everyone for themselves, wasting away, curses. When God's light shines upon something, it means that he is involved. He is blessing that effort. When the tabernacle was set up, we see this very specific placement of objects here so that the light was proactively and intentionally shining upon the bread. A reminder that in prayer, the constant need and desire for God to shine upon his people, to remember his covenant, to intervene and to bless them. And that theme is repeated throughout the Bible. Let's go to Psalms 31 now. Psalms verse 31. And we'll pick it up in verse 9 of Psalms 31, starting in verse 9. Psalms 31:9 says, "Have mercy on me, O Lord, for I am in trouble. My eye wastes away with grief, yes, my soul and my body. For my life is spent with grief, and my years with sighing. My strength fails because of my iniquity, and my bones waste away. I am a reproach among all my enemies, but especially among my neighbors. And I am repulsive to my acquaintances. Those who see me outside flee from me. I am forgotten like a dead man, out of mind, I am like a broken vessel. For I hear the slander of many, fear is on every side. While they take counsel together against me, they scheme to take away my life." Verse 14. But, as for me, I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Deliver me from the hand of my enemies and from those who persecute me. Make your face shine upon your servant. Make your face shine upon your servant. Save me for your mercy's sake. What a beautiful way to encapsulate a wish that we all have, for God to turn his face and to shine upon us in our activities. And the language is really poetic here, but it's more than that. It's also covenantal, meaning that it's more than just nice words. It has an impactful meaning between God and us together in our relationship. It's more than just wishful thinking, but rather part of our responsibility is to bring this request to God in our prayers. In short, the structure of how the tabernacle was set up wasn't just so that the high priest didn't bang his toes in the dark as he's moving around. Things weren't haphazardly put together like a space planner, just move things where they would fit. And also, it wasn't just exclusively for a small subset of people in a relatively short period of time, thousands of years ago. It was a very intentional illustration that means something rich to God's people throughout time, very much including today. May the Lord's light shine upon his people. That is something that we can and we should add to our prayers if it's not already there. In conclusion, let's turn back to Revelation chapter 22. Revelation chapter 22. We started at Leviticus towards the beginning. Now we're going to head back towards the end. Revelation chapter 22. We'll start right in verse 1. Revelation chapter 2, again, starting in verse 1. "And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and of the Lamb. In the middle of its street and on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations." Verse 3, "There shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. They shall see his face, and his name shall be on their foreheads. There shall be no night there. They need no lamp nor light of the sun, for the Lord God gives them light, and they shall reign forever and ever." Whether this is in a literal sense, as in God will be the physical light source that we all see, it's certainly in a spiritual sense. And as we see at the beginning of this kingdom, we'll have the same things that they had in the tabernacle back in the day. God's light shining upon his people. And what a blessing that will be. May the Lord's face shine upon you and me and all of us together.